Keep moving, got to keep on moving on. Keep going on, got to keep on moving on.
We all can make it
In life,
we got to get focused.
Keep on moving,
Sky is the limit.
You got to get there, keep moving, keep marching on.
You can make it
In life,
you got to get focused.
Keep on moving,
Sky is the limit.
You got to get there, keep moving, keep marching on.
Keep on moving.
Keep moving, keep marching on.
Welcome everyone. This is Abled Differently, a program like no other. Creating awareness on the issues of persons with disabilities is a sure way of bridging the gap between the regulars and the abled differently.
And there are institutions that have taken a lead in this, and they are determined in creating a world free of discrimination. I am your host, Caxton Asozi.
And me, Judy Okite.
Welcome.
Keep moving, keep marching on.
Margaret Kimuma is a teacher and a mother of 3. And to crown it all, she is visually impaired. She has worked tirelessly to ensure that her family is well taken care of. Let's take a look at her story.
Margaret Kimuma was not born blind. In fact, she had lived several decades of her life as a sighted person, fully dependent on herself.
I'm visually impaired. I cannot be able to see you, but it's a condition which I've taken positively because they cannot reverse the situation.
It was in 2012 when Kimuma, while transacting business as usual, lost the ability to see.
I acquired the condition when I was trading at Gikomba Market. After having been retrenched from Kenya Power Electric Company in 2002, then I had to take off on the business world so as to support my family. Then there is where I received this condition. I acquired the condition. When I was trading at Gikomba Market, after having been retrenched from Kenya Power Electric Company in 2002, then I had to take off on the business world so as to support my family. Then there is where I received this condition. I acquired the condition.
According to the doctors, Kimuma had a condition called retinitis, and they tried to break it down for her to understand.
Even the doctors may not know because they were asking me how did it happen that you cannot be. They said the condition, they referred to the condition as retinosis. That is a condition in the retina. Remember, the retina is responsible for the focus of the image. The retina is the one which interprets the image. So the doctor said the retina is inflamed. The causes of the inflammation, they were not able to tell.
On that normal morning, as she woke up and followed the routine of her daily program, never did she expect to end the day in total darkness. She was in complete denial as the events thereafter unfolded.
It was just of a sudden, I woke up as usual, went to my place of work, and of a sudden, there was darkness. And the condition, according to the doctors, they said that it is reversible. At that particular moment, I thought it was just short-lived thing. Little did I know that that was the beginning of my current life in darkness. Inside my brain, I thought because I knew the way, I could just follow the mind and reach my destination, that is my home. I didn't want to bother the friends, the workmates there, because in business, people they have targets for the day.
Life from then on became different, but one constant fact was the undeniable commitment the husband had for his family.
It was terrible. For a start, it was terrible, because now here, my husband, as you know, men, As they go work in the morning, coming back in the evening, he was used to getting food ready. But now, he was to play both sides. It was hectic to him, but I thank him very much because through all that, he could come help until when I went to Machakos training school. Machakos is a rehabilitation center. That is, I acquired the condition in April, but I told him it's not easy for me to be in the house all alone because May children could go to school. Then we thought of going to college.
Kimuma was not used to being dependent on others, and almost immediately after losing her sight, she made a crucial decision of reclaiming her life back.
Machakos Rehabilitation Center is the place which gave me the skills, life skills, which made me even to survive normally. Because now the workload which my husband was to take, cooking for us, cleaning the clothes, after the rehabilitation center, I was able to pick up the functions where I need assistance. I can always ask, and now they are used. But it's very, very helpful where I cannot manage maybe some food, like cooking chapatis, he can come help. But these other things I can do.
By the time Kimuma was losing her sight, she had already given birth to all her 3 children, and it makes her so happy to have their undying support.
My children, like the young one, Teresa Bosibori she's the one I'm always with her. The others are in boarding school. They are very, very supportive. They have accepted me as I am. They always make my life very comfortable and happy because they are always there for me at any time.
Teresa Bosibori is her last-born daughter, whose love and support towards her mother is undeniably intact.
She washes my uniform for me. She cooks for us. She washes dishes. I thank God for such a careful, caring mother. I love her and I'm proud of her.
Kimuma remains a motivated being despite all the challenges that have come her way and looks forward to a better tomorrow.
My hope is that there will be always a better tomorrow. We always learn to grow in my challenges. It is true that in my condition there are so many challenges. But always in my challenges, I tend to grow in them. For example, now that initially my passion was to be a teacher, I'm motivated to do that job to my best. In fact, even my current students, they really like me and we interact a lot and they are very happy. They always miss when my lesson is reached. At what time, madam, they come to the office to pick me. So my motivation is achieving what I had targeted to be.
The loss of sight for her came with a lot of challenges, and she had to do a lot of adjusting to the newfound way of life.
There are so many challenges. For example, mobility. It's not so easy for me to move, to go to the stage alone. Inside the house, I can move freely. But outside that gate, I must get someone to help me to go to my destination. If there is no person, I have to use a motorbike. Mobility is a great challenge. So that calls for expense. It's our life. Our life, especially needy people, is very expensive.
Although the husband was very supportive, her in-laws would hear none of it and recommended that he remarries.
My in-laws are a different story. You know that they were advising him to marry. They were just saying, you're still a young man. You can get somebody who can take care of you. But he was a very wise man. He pictured. Does it mean losing the sight? The other part See, the other part is functioning. So, so I really appreciate him for that. He didn't listen. But ever since, my husband has never listened to the advice of the in-laws.
Her advice to those able differently was straight to the point, and to parents as well.
Let me talk to the parents of 21st century. We are facing so many challenges. And the only way for us to deal with our children, we need a 5-lettered word. Support them, appreciate them, respect them, understand them, and listen to them.
In the quote of today, we look at Carol Burnett's saying that goes, "Only I can change my life. No one can do it for me." What do you think, Caxton?
And that's a very powerful quote there. It reminds me of this phrase that goes, "You are the author of your own destiny." So people will tell you that you can make it in life. People will tell you that you are the best, but remember, you are the only one to shape your destiny. And remember that you came in this world alone. I mean, you never came with anyone. You will go alone. So take charge of your life, take charge of your destiny, work very hard, and pursue what is there for you in life.
Thank you very much, Caxton. Don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Keep moving, keep marching on. Keep moving, keep marching on.
Welcome. If you've just joined us, you are watching Abled Differently. Persons with disabilities need to be represented fully in the society. This formed the basis of a workshop that was organized by scholars from Kenya and the United States of America. Let's take a look at that story.
Would be happy to work with Kenyans on achieving some of those goals, but I don't think I am the one who should be sort of as an outsider pushing those issues, but I think we do probably need to do more to work together to initiate change around the country.
Disability and social justice was the theme of a 3-day conference organized by Twaweza Communications and Arizona State University.
This is a follow-up workshop. We did one 10 years ago in 2007 that was then called Disability and Human Rights, and it was a workshop that was assessing the situation after the Act on Persons with Disabilities was passed. And for now, we wanted to see what has changed in the last 10 years. What are some of the continuing challenges? What are areas of improvement? What are areas that we have not discussed before?
The conference saw scholars from universities across the country and the United States of America present papers on topics that concern persons with disabilities in their daily lives.
We have a wonderful combination of scholars and activists here and policymakers. So we have scholars from universities in the United States, somebody who is in South Africa. Then we also have people from University of Nairobi, Kenyatta University, Mount Kenya University, also the Eldoret campus, and then we have various activist groups, for example, Ability Africa. We have the Girl Child Network and various others. So we have a very productive conversation between scholars and activists.
The key thing about the conference is to bring the scholars together so that we are able to bring out the issues of persons with disabilities, the way forward from a scholarly perspective and from the social perspective.
There was the need to adopt a curriculum that accommodates the special needs, especially the hearing impaired.
The revised curriculum and the new curriculum that we are about to launch, and which is under piloting at the moment, we believe, and for us who are in special needs, that it is now going to address those needs of learners with special needs so that they participate at the same level, they are not left behind, and that they are fully included and they are not failing to perform simply because the curriculum is rigid or the curriculum is not adapted well enough. And I believe that even during the pilot, there are those issues that will be found out and that they will be corrected so that at least towards the end, we will have equalized when it comes to the access and quality of education that we are offering all our children.
Also, despite the fact that the government offers a free primary school and soon will start offering secondary education, students with disabilities do not enjoy the privilege.
We are saying that, one of the values in the Constitution of Kenya, Article 10, on the principles and values of the nation, is human rights, and inclusion. So, to the extent that persons with disability are not included, in the social as well as economic transformation of our country, we have not met that principle. And we think that the way you make the country move forward is to include as many people as possible.
The outstanding factor in media representation was the language used and how the media brings out stories for persons with disabilities.
Media have a tremendous opportunity to show how people with disability are transforming their lives, that they are not just beggars. Many of them are working, many are tailors, others are doing art and craft, others are doing all sorts of cultural things. We really need to start seeing them in the media. And there is no reason why persons with disability cannot be employed in the media houses as newscasters, and editors and so on.
Nina from the Arizona University agrees that more needs to be done when it comes to matters disability.
Well, I think what we're realizing is that we don't have enough data really to track some of the progress. We're seeing some of the challenges, for example, with the disability cards that are being issued that cost money, and sometimes the process to get them is very hard. So some of these identity cards, even the disability cards, are, even at that level, there are some problems. There are other opportunities. There's some funding from the government for CBOs, for example, self-help groups, and we had one, Christopher Odinga here from a group in Ukunda, and they have received money, government money, in support of their project. So there are, some positive outcomes that you can see are really the result of the new law or the revisions also. There have been various revisions since 2004. But there are tremendous challenges in many areas. And I think we just discussed, for example, the challenge that disabled people have in terms of their children, who, when they need support to put them through education.
Keep moving, keep marching on.
The World Albinism Day was celebrated recently, and different groups came out to support the cause. Our crew were there and they compiled the following story for you. Take a look at this story.
International Albinism Awareness Day is normally organized for the purpose of creating awareness and celebrating the achievement of those with albinism condition.
Self-acceptance leads to commonplace acceptance. If you accept yourself first, you'll have that confidence to go out into the world, to compete competitively with everyone else for job placement, for education placement. Once you have that self-acceptance as persons with albinism, it's easy to convince the rest of the society to accept us. So later, when the corporates see that you are there and you have accepted yourself and you're confident, then they'll see, okay, maybe we can do something here. So it's all about self-acceptance. Then that's how the world will take you. The world takes you at your estimate.
Saturday the 17th of June saw such an event organized at the Michael Joseph Center.
So in this empowerment journey Safaricom is taking, it is working towards empowering people with disabilities, and the focus this time is on people with albinism. And being employed there, we are able to channel more ways where Safaricom is becoming aware about our needs and all that. So this year they have partnered with people with albinism and albinism organizations to celebrate International Albinism Awareness Day, which is normally celebrated on 13th June, but to be able to get a bigger audience, we celebrated it today on 17th.
Not only was the event about creating awareness, but also promoting talent, which was displayed during the entertainment session.
You are the song that I sing, you are the melody, you are the harmony, praises to you my heart sing. You are the words and the music, you are the song that I sing, you
The keynote address was done by Marcela Favrato, a senior human rights advisor with the United Nations.
It's such an honor and a pleasure to be here with you today. Before I start my speech, let me tell you how important this event is, and I think it has been underlined by colleagues who have come on the floor before me. Now I've been working in the field of human rights for close to 20 years, and I have to say that if there's one thing that is really ugly, is discrimination.
There were calls for more corporate institutions to come in and help create awareness and reach a larger audience.
This is the first event Safaricom is holding because they didn't have people with albinism working for them in the past. Now that I am there and another lady called Florence is working for the CEO, we are trying to enlighten them on the needs of persons with albinism, and they're responding by giving us a platform where we can explain more about our challenges, what the society is doing, and we're inviting other corporates as well to make commitments to see how they're going to improve the welfare of persons with albinism.
Persons with disabilities who have been able to go a milestone despite the challenges were also reminded on the need of pulling one another up.
Well, I can tell parents, first of all, to encourage their children, because it's how a family, it's a family that where the child grows from. So when you encourage them, they're able to go and do better things. And also the children, I love to tell them to encourage themselves and accept themselves, self-acceptance, because how you treat yourself is how people are going to take you. Yeah, so acceptance is very important, and confidence, know that you can do to live up your dreams, that the condition should not be an hindrance for you to pursue what you've always wanted to do.
And now, let us take a look at the UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities.
The UN Convention on the Rights of Persons with Disabilities states that state parties recognize the rights of persons with disabilities to work on an equal basis with others. This includes the right to the opportunity to gain a living by work freely chosen or accepted in a labor market and work environment that is open, inclusive and accessible to persons with disabilities.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's that time that we wrap up the show.
And it's been a pleasure to have you on board. And remember that the conversation does not end here. You can always visit our social media platforms, that is Facebook, Abled Differently, or send in your comments or any question on the number 22162 starting with the capital letters AD. I've been your host, Caxton Masonzi.
And me, Judy Okita. Goodbye.
At the end of the road, though the walk is tougher, sijafa moyo, natamani sana future, and so I'm on the go. I'm never gonna give up, I got to keep hope alive. Eyes on the prize, lazima nifike, and with God by my side, lazima nishinde. Uo uo, lazima nifike, yeah. Uo uo, lazima nishinde.